The first thing people noticed was the lunchbox in his hand, slightly dented, wrapped with a faded blue cloth, as if it carried more than food inside it. In the middle of a bright, busy afternoon, surrounded by glass towers and expensive suits, a single dad sat alone on a public bench outside a corporate plaza, exhaustion carved deep into his face. What no one could see yet was that this ordinary moment, under the open daylight sky, was about to quietly change two very different lives forever. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the small moments that can change everything, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel One Heart Stories. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Ethan Cole had learned how to disappear in plain sight. Ever since his wife passed away from a sudden illness 3 years earlier, his world had narrowed to one purpose: raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, the best way he could. He worked 2 daytime jobs, one as a delivery driver and another doing warehouse shifts whenever he could find them. Every morning, he packed Lily's lunch with care, and every afternoon, if his schedule allowed, he ate his own simple meal on a bench near her school or near whatever job site he was closest to. He never complained. He just endured. Daytime was not rest for him, it was survival under the sun. That afternoon, Ethan had picked up Lily early because her school was closed for maintenance. She sat beside him, swinging her legs, humming softly while he opened the lunchbox. Inside were 2 sandwiches, cut unevenly, and a small apple sliced into neat pieces. He handed most of it to her, keeping only half for himself. Hunger had become familiar, almost polite, like a quiet guest he ignored. Lily noticed, as she always did. She pushed the apple slices toward him and insisted he eat too, because she didn't like eating alone. Ethan smiled and nodded, pretending the ache in his stomach didn't matter as much as the smile on her face. Across the plaza, a woman paused mid-step. Her name was Serena Vale, and she was the CEO of a rapidly growing tech firm housed in the very building Ethan sat outside of. In tailored clothing and polished shoes, she looked like someone who owned time itself. Yet in that moment, something simple stopped her. She saw the father and daughter sharing food on a bench, sunlight falling across them in a way that felt strangely intimate. It reminded her of a life she once imagined but never lived. Board meetings, investors, and endless daylight hours at the office had replaced the idea of family long ago. Serena had been raised with wealth but without warmth. Success came easily to her, connection did not. Watching Ethan carefully divide his meal, she felt an unfamiliar tightness in her chest. Without fully understanding why, she slowed her pace and sat at the opposite end of the bench. There was an awkward distance at first, the kind that exists between strangers from different worlds. Lily looked up, curious, her eyes bright and unafraid. She offered Serena one of the apple slices with innocent generosity. Ethan froze, embarrassed, unsure how to react. Serena accepted the slice. That simple act broke something open inside her. She asked about Lily's day, about school, about what they were eating. The conversation stayed light, bathed in daylight, but the weight beneath it was heavy with unspoken truths. Ethan explained, carefully, that they always shared meals. He believed food tasted better when no one ate alone. Serena listened, realizing how foreign that idea was to her own life of catered lunches and solitary desks. Over the next few days, the daylight bench became a quiet meeting point. Serena adjusted her lunch schedule without announcing it to anyone. Ethan didn't know who she really was at first, and she didn't correct him. They spoke about life, exhaustion, and the invisible cost of responsibility. Ethan shared how every day felt like walking a tightrope, terrified of falling but refusing to look down because Lily was watching. Serena shared less, but she listened more than she ever had before. Challenges soon surfaced. Ethan's delivery truck broke down, threatening his primary income. Stress settled heavily on his shoulders, visible even in the afternoon sun. Serena noticed the change. She recognized the look of someone one step away from losing everything, a look she had seen in her employees but never truly understood until now. She offered help, carefully, not as charity but as opportunity. She connected Ethan with temporary work through her company's logistics department, work that fit his daytime schedule and paid fairly. When Ethan finally learned who Serena really was, shame washed over him. He feared he had been pitted, reduced to a story. But Serena made it clear that what moved her was not his struggle, but his strength. Watching him insist that Lily eat first, that no one around him feel invisible, had forced her to confront the emptiness behind her success. She began to change too, restructuring her company's policies, creating family-friendly hours, and opening food programs for workers in need, all inspired by one simple daytime lunch on a bench. Life did not suddenly become perfect. Ethan still worked hard. He still worried. But hope entered the picture, steady and warm like sunlight. Lily thrived, laughing more freely. Serena found purpose beyond profit. Their worlds didn't emerge romantically or magically, they aligned humanly. Kindness became the bridge. Just before the ending, a special request to you watching: please comment below and tell us what this story reminded you of in your own life. On a bright afternoon months later, Ethan sat on the same bench, lunchbox in hand, but this time it was full. Lily insisted, once again, that he eat with her. Across the plaza, Serena walked by, no longer rushing, carrying her own lunch instead of skipping it. They exchanged a knowing smile, one born from shared humanity rather than status. If this story touched your heart, moved you, or reminded you that small kindnesses in broad daylight can change everything, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to One Heart Stories. Sometimes, the world changes not through grand gestures, but through a simple moment when someone says, "Only if you eat too."